friends, Debbie here with Debbie Gets Crafty, and it is New Year's Eve, and I wanted to kit this picture up. This was a gift given to me by Monica Baby Cakes, and she was beautiful enough to gift me this really awesome Diamond Art Club painting. It's called Together for Christmas by Donna Gelsinger. It is a 50.7 centimeters by 68.9 centimeters, and isn't it gorgeous? It has 53 colors in it, and so I thought I would go ahead and kit this up with you today. Actually, this is evening, so it is New Year's Eve here in the States. I'm going to kit it up in my 60 slot case, and this case was gifted to me as well by the wonderful Trisha, who has diamond painting with sweet tea. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm not going to show you the canvas itself, friends, because the canvas is really large, and so I just did not want to try to show it, because you would never see the whole canvas. But that being said, let's go ahead and we will kit up and let's get started. So I'm going to, here are the drills, okay, and what I'm going to do, there are 53 colors, so what I'm going to do is, Diamond Art Club doesn't put their drills in order, in numeric order on DMC codes. What I'm going to do is take a few minutes and separate these into all of the ones that are like 154, 170, 200s, 300s, and so on. And then I will be right back and we'll get started. It'll make it a little easier for me. So let's go ahead and we'll push this aside. There we go. And I will be back shortly. Okay, my friends, we're back. So I went ahead and I cut all of the ones that went from the 100s up to the 900s. And then anything above 900s that started out like 30, whatever, I saved all those on the side, and we'll do those after. So we're going to start out with the 100s first. And I have a tray, I have some scissors, I have some tweezers to take the stickers off, and I also have a little container with some dryer sheets cut up in it, just in case there's some static. There have been times where I've had some static with the DAC. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? And we'll start out with our first color, which is 105, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ABs. Our first 4 colors are ABs, and that stands for Aurora Borealis, which is a coating that's put on a regular drill that makes them really sparkle, give it a little extra color. And these Aurora Borealis, when they're set next to other drills, they just pick up those colors and just really make them shine. Look at how they glisten. I love it. So let's get started. We have 105. So we'll take our first container, and I am going to just cut the rest of this off. Okay. So I'm not going to use the number portion. I'm only going to use the symbol and the DMC code for my lids, okay? And so this way they'll stick, so they'll fit on the lid. So we'll start off with the first one. If I can get this off, hang on just a second. There we go. Boop. Okay. Okay. There we go. So 105. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I am doing great. It is New Year's Eve, and I get to spend some time with my friends here, and that means the world to me. There's no other place I'd rather be than right here with you all. Now, by the time you see this, it will be New Year's Day for a lot of folks around the world, and I want to wish you a very happy and healthy new year. as you celebrate your New Year's Day. It's going to probably be cutting it very close here in the States as well. If not, I may even be a little late in posting this, so it may already be New Year's Day. But that's fine. And our next color is 107. So I'll go ahead. And what a year 2023 has been. I tell you, I hope that 2024 picks up for everybody. You'll hear fireworks in the background in our neighborhood. Well, actually, in the surrounding neighborhoods. Nothing's going on in this neighborhood right now. Because, as you know, about 3 weeks ago, on December 9th, Tennessee was hit with some really severe tornadoes, and we were in an F3 tornado. So we have a lot to be thankful for, my husband and I, and our dog, Spoto. We spent almost 2 weeks in a hotel, waiting for the electricity and gas and heat to be gas and internet to be put back on. And just before Christmas, we were given the all clear to move back in. This is color number 117, and it sparkles like a holiday. So, we were very lucky and very blessed. All right, the next color is 129, which is a beautiful yellow Aurora Borealis. And that'll be our last AB that we have for this kit. So, that was just an experience that I would not wish on my worst enemy to go through that. But we are trying to move on and come back. Honestly, it's only been 3 weeks, so we're still trying to come back to some kind of normal in our home. We are, let's see here. There is a tiny little bit of static in this, so I'm going to go ahead and take out, this is stacked. And I have a little tiny piece right here. Let's see. Where is that tiny little piece? We'll throw this one in. Why not? There are various sizes. When I cut these, I didn't, perfectly cut them. There we go. Give it a little shake. So our next color. Our house is, it's color number 152. Our house is, livable. We are able to live here. We did suffer some damage. We have to have the whole roof replaced. We have to have all the siding replaced, as there was some damage to the siding. Also, the back of our house took the brunt of it, and there was a wall in the master bathroom that really took a hit. So there's going to have to be some repair work done to that wall. We have a bunch of static. Woo-wee, that is some static. So we're going to do this. We're going to pick up the drills that fell out because they have a mind of their own right now. We're going to get them to comply. So yeah, the back of the house took the brunt of the damage. And there's a wall in the master bathroom in the back of the house that took a pretty bad hit with a large piece of either wood or we don't know what it was, but it damaged the back wall. And so what we have to do is go ahead and that's got to be worked on, and then I'm just shaking this up. I'm going to do this off camera because this will be really annoying. Let's see here. They have to repair that wall also. And we have to have all new windows put in the back of the house because the windows were broken. Not broken completely, but they're double pane windows, so of course when one pane breaks, the window has to be replaced. So That's got to get done. We have a little covered porch area where all of the insulation in the roof of that porch was all blown out, and all the siding that was put up to cover that ceiling portion was, I'm going to put another in here, was all tore down. So that's all got to be taken care of. Plus, there was a post that was shifted. There we go. On that covered porch, so that's got to be dealt with. So yeah, we have a lot of work ahead of us. But the good thing is, the folks that own the house, we rent our home, and the folks that own the house are amazing. The property management company that we work with is amazing, and it'll get done. You know, there's a lot of folks in the area that are having bigger problems that have to be dealt with. So ours is just, you know, right now, more cosmetic. There's a big chunk of the chimney that we have a wood fireplace, and a big chunk out of the corner of the chimney was damaged, so that's got to be repaired. So it's going to be a long process, but you know, our property managers are like, you know, please understand, it's going to be a while, but it will get taken care of, and we totally understand, and we love where we live, so of course we'll be patient. So, and for those who don't know, this tornado hit while I was on a live with my twin sister Judy on December 9th. And it was towards the end of our show, the end of our live. And the bad weather was starting to move in. And we got an alert. I got an alert on my phone. I usually keep my phone right next to me while we're doing our lives. And there was an alert on the phone. And shortly, within, it felt like seconds. Within just a few seconds of that alert coming through, the lights went out and then came back on. And then now I'm up to the 200s, 224. It's pretty pink. And the lights went, you know, they flickered, they went out for a second, and then they came back on. And I was making, you know, light of the situation. And we were just, you know, having a laugh and making light of it because, you know, we never thought anything would really happen. Well, all of a sudden, I heard a strange sound. And it was a very consistent sound. You know how they say that when you hear a tornado, it sounds like a freight train? It is true. And it was a very consistent humming sound. And all of a sudden, I heard my husband in the living room. My husband was in the living room with our dog, Spoto. And I heard my husband shout out for Spoto to come here. And I heard him shout out for Spoto a couple of times. You know, Spoto, come here, boy. And my husband's voice got closer. I'm in my office here, in my crafting room, and I could hear his voice getting closer. He was in the hallway. So I turn around, and this is all on our live from December 9th on Judy's YouTube channel. You could see it. It happens around 1:49, so we're just about at that 1 hour mark when it happens. So when I hear my husband, I turn around and I say, I call him Babe. I said, Babe, are you okay? He, after this, told me that he had said, you know, come out here. You got to get out here now. But I didn't hear him. So I think I shouted for him again. And that's when the lights went out again. And the sound got louder. And the lights did not come back on. And I got a little worried. So I got up and I opened the door to my crafting room. And I see my husband standing in the hallway with Spoto, our little dog. And he says, you've got to get out here now. So I turn. We were still on our live. I still had my laptop going and you could see the whole thing transpire. So I look at the camera at my laptop and I shout to my friends and, you know, who are watching live, and my twin sister Judy. I shout out to them, I've got to go and I love you all and I'll see you soon. And then I shut the door. At that time, my twin sister got very upset, very nervous for my safety, and she decided to cut my camera and end that live, saying that she was very nervous. She was going to try to reach out to me, and you know, she hoped everybody understood. And then she ended the live. At that point, I shut my door, and as I shut my door, I go over to my husband, which is only literally a couple of steps, and all of a sudden, our French doors in our dining room fly open, and then a bunch of debris comes flying in. And the sound, my friends, I just don't know how to express how it was just this woo, 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 woo. I mean, and I can't even do it right. My husband makes that sound better than I did. Once those doors flew open and the debris started coming in, I took a couple steps back. Our little guest bathroom was literally right behind me. The door to the guest bathroom was right behind me. So I grabbed my dog, Spoto, and I go in there, and I'm standing in there with Spoto literally standing between my legs. And my husband, Todd, was standing at the front door of the door of the bathroom. And I kept, you know, telling him, come in here, get in here. And he just stood there. And what felt like an eternity was only a few seconds, and things are flying all over the place. It literally felt like the house was shaking, and then before you know it, the wind calmed down and things got quiet, like eerily quiet. And we took a moment, you know, just to let everything settle, and then we put Spoto in his kennel in our master bedroom. And then Todd and I've got to make a second storage for this, so I'm going to make a label. Todd and I ran out. Well, I have mobility issues, so I don't run anywhere. But Todd and I made our way to the front door and opened up our front door. And friends, all I can say is it was just an incredible sight to see. It looked like a war zone out there. And it was just so surreal. Literally, the house diagonal from ours across the street was literally blown away. The house, then there was a house next to that, which was fine. It had damage, but it was fine. And then the house next to that was literally blown away, obliterated. I mean, it was just a pile of rubble. My husband and I looked down our driveway because we live on an incline. And we look down our driveway and we see these two young women in their mid-20s, literally running up our driveway barefoot in nothing but robes, screaming. They're both holding their heads because they had both been injured. And we didn't know who they were. We don't know very many of our neighbors. We didn't know who they were. We didn't know where they came from. So we, motioned for them to come up the hill. They were almost up the hill. So we motioned for them to come to us. And I gave them both a hug and told them they were okay, they were safe. And I got them into the house. At that time, my husband said he was going to check on our neighbors on either side of our house. So I brought the girls inside and found out that they were in the house diagonal across the street from ours that was literally obliterated. And what had happened was one of the young ladies was on her phone or watching TV or something, and all of a sudden she looked out the window and she saw this hurricane coming, tornado coming, and she ran down her stairs to her roommate's room, who was sleeping at the time, got her awake, and they ran down into their garage literally just in time, because just as they got to their garage and hit the floor, their entire house collapsed around them. And then once the dust settled, they got up and just started to run and scream. So I noticed that they were both hurt, both bloody. I mean, both of their robes were just saturated with blood. So we got in touch with 911. I had a first aid kit that I dressed their wounds the best I could, because I just had a simple little first aid kit that we take camping with us, so it didn't really have, too much to handle the wounds that they had, but I was able to put pressure on their wounds. And one of the girls had a pretty bad laceration above her eyebrow, and I happened to have some butterfly bandages, so I was able to put a butterfly on that to help get the bleeding to stop. And then the other girl had a pretty bad laceration in her scalp, but I couldn't see it because her hair was in the way. But I was able to get pressure on that as well. And so I was able to, help get them calmed down as much as I could and address their wounds. We contacted 911. And then they couldn't sit in their robes because they were sopping wet from the rain. They were sopping wet from the blood. So I gave one of the girls a robe that I had, and I gave the other girl this, it was like a velvet house dress, and just something that they could put on. So they had something warm and something dry. And so I kept going outside to the front, checking to see where my husband was, checking on the girls. The girls were trying to get in touch with their families. The phone systems were down for the longest time, and then we were finally able to get through to some of their family and friends. And I ended up making a sandwich for one of them. They were hungry. They said they hadn't eaten, so I made them a sandwich. In the meantime, my husband checked on both of our neighbors, and they were all okay, but they both had damage to their houses as well. And so my husband tried his best to, help them out, board up a window. And, one of our neighbors, like us, had their electric meter literally ripped away from her house, which caused a hole. So he attempted to help her with that. He wasn't able to because he didn't have the equipment. But, he did his best with what he had to help his, neighbors out. And eventually, this young man came to our door. Evidently, he walked up to my husband and asked if my husband was okay. My husband said yes, but there's 2 girls in our house that were injured. This young man happened to be in the Army, and he was just in, around the neighborhood when this happened, and decided to come and help. So he stopped by, and he happened to have medical training. So, and he also had buddies in the area that were able to, here I go trying to put a sticker on a lid that's not there. So he had buddies in the area that were able to, well, he thought they were able to get through and drop off medical supplies, because I had very little as far as appropriate medical supplies. And so he helped with their wounds as well. And here we go. And so I'm going to pause here for a moment, and I'll be right back. All right, friends, thank you. So where was I? Okay, this young man from the Army. He was there, helped, with the wounds, helped get in touch with his buddy who was going to try to get some supplies to us, and, help from there. And so we, all we could do is wait, right after the tornado, a bad thunderstorm came through, and the girls were just freaking out. And I can't blame them. I mean, it was a scary enough situation going through what they went through, and then to have this big thunderstorm roll through literally right after. So, I had all I could do to try to keep them as calm as possible, keep them both awake and alert, and, just make sure that they were okay. And evidently one of the girls was able to get in contact with her boss, who lived in the same town. And so he and his wife and family were actually able to make it through. And they stopped by. Well, in the meantime, between that happening and between everything, we must have had about 10 people in our house at one time. There was a couple of gentlemen that showed up that were from Nashville, which is about 45 minutes away from where we live. And as soon as the tornado blew through and they knew where it was, they hopped in to the ambulance and headed up here. So the one gentleman, he was the first from Nashville Fire and Rescue, who took a look at the young lady with the gash in her scalp and said that she may, have a concussion. And then she was complaining of shoulder pain as well, and he thought maybe, she broke her shoulder. So he asked if it was okay if they stayed here for a little while longer, because there was a lady in the area who was pregnant and they needed to tend to her first. So he said, of course, they could stay here as long as they need. And that gentleman took off. He said he promises he would be back, and he took off. So a little while longer went by. My husband's still outside helping other people, around their houses. And all of a sudden, the gentleman from the EMS in Nashville showed back up with his partner and dressed the girl's wounds a little further than what we could have done, because we only had, so much. And got them in an ambulance, and they were on their way to the hospital. So then my husband came back, and everybody had left, at that point. And my husband came back, and we were deciding what we wanted to do. We had renter's insurance, but we weren't sure, what to do at that point. So he said, let's stay here overnight and we'll, we weren't even hungry, so we didn't even eat dinner that night. So we stayed in our house that night, and then the next day we decided to contact our insurance company because we have renter's insurance, and they were able to get us into a hotel because it was going to be, we were headed for a cold snap. So we had to make a decision. Nobody wants to file a claim on their insurance because, you know that eventually the rates are going to go up and everything else. But you know what? That's why you have insurance for times like this. And friends, I cannot stress enough, if you rent or own a home or anything like that, for God's sake, please have homeowners or renters insurance, because we were able to stay in a warm hotel and not worry about, they're replacing the cost of the food that we lost, and they were lifesavers. So, I just can't stress enough the importance of having that. And so, yeah, there we were in a hotel room for 12 days. And then just before Christmas, they got the power back on. In the storm, the heating and air conditioning unit that we have was literally blown 3 inches off of the concrete pad. So that's why we weren't able to stay in the house because there was no heat. So, and again, there was a cold snap. So that's why we weren't able to stay in our house. And but they got that all set back up, and they got that running again. We had the internet back up again, just recently, as a matter of fact. And yeah, we were able to spend Christmas in our home, which is a lot more than a lot of the folks in this area. It's 3 weeks in, and it's still, you drive down the street, and it still is just massive destruction everywhere you go. There's not a day that goes by that you're not hearing chainsaws or, somebody pounding nails, or somebody with the roof, having a roof replaced. So it's just so surreal. And it's going to take time for us to recover, not just the material things with the house and stuff, but emotionally and mentally, because even our poor little dog, Spoto, just a few days ago, we had a bit of heavy rain come through, and you could tell he was really nervous, and he's never been like that. And so, we know that it affected him as well. And we go through these waves. My husband and I talk about it. We go through these waves where we're okay, and then all of a sudden we think, how lucky we are and how we get to live in our house, and we look outside our front door and how other people, our neighbors who were literally 150 feet away from our house, their house is like 150 feet away from our house, and they don't have a house anymore, and we still do. So, it's just, it hits us in waves as to how so lucky we are. Just 150 feet was the difference between, us having a house and us losing it all. And you know, it's just, it still hits us. But we thank God every day. We have so much to be thankful for. And I was on a live the next weekend, and I told, you know, whoever was watching, I said that I will never take for granted the chance to tell somebody I love them. Because literally in the blink of an eye, it could be gone. And so that is that. I hope I didn't bore anybody with that story. It's just that telling it helps a little bit. So, yeah, there's that. So we are just plugging along. And on New Year's Day is our little Spoto's first birthday. He'll be a year old. And he is such a pleasure. He's such a good little dog. You know, he had his little life upended on that day. Everything that he knew, you know, his backyard is destroyed. It's getting back, you know, we're getting it back to normal, quote unquote normal. Because honestly, I don't know if we're ever going to know what normal is again. At least that's what it feels like right now. But you know, we used to set him outside and let him run around his yard. You know, several times a day we'd open the door and tell him, you know, go on, run around for a little while. And he'd go outside, have himself a little run off some energy. And but he can't do that now because there's all this debris in the yard, and we're getting it cleared out slowly but surely. But you know, it's still not really safe for him to just be out there by himself. So we have him, when he has to go out, he has to go out on we have a deck that we've closed the step off to, so he can't get out onto the yard. But, you know, he's not used to that. He's used to just having the door open. He goes off and runs around and comes back in. And, you know, there's certain, shall I say, rituals that we have to go to bed at night and stuff like that. And at that time, it was all upended. He didn't know what was going on. He had never been in a hotel before, and none of that. He always slept in his kennel. Well, being in the hotel, we didn't want him to fuss, so we let him sleep, you know, in the bed with us. So that was different for him. You know, we went back to the house once, twice a day, every day, so he had to do that. And, you know, he was just, his routine was upended. I know I'm spilling drills all over the place, but I'll fix it. His routine was upended. But I'll tell you something, friends, he took it like a champ. As a matter of fact, he now sleeps in bed with us. And so there's that. We still have the kennel available if we need to put him in the kennel, you know, just to sleep at night. But, yeah, he sleeps with us now. We have been inseparable ever since this happened. And so it's been the three of us, you know, wherever we go together. It's just been crazy. But he's going to be a year old on January 1st. What a way to usher in his first birthday. Poor guy. But he has handled it like a champion. He really has. Even though he may not understand everything that's going on, he has really been a good dog about everything. So, our little Spoto. Our little man. Well, I'm having one whale of a time with this particular color. 451, I think it is. Yeah. Listen, Mr. 451. Slow your roll. There we go. One more. There. And I hear one more. What, do they keep jumping out? There. Okay. Give this a little shimmy shake. There we go. All right. Next color is 452. Oh, I love this color. It's a nice mauve. So that is what's been happening with us. Just trying to make it through every day. There we go. And we are. And we are. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of static in with these drills. Just about every bag is coming up staticky. Like I said, I find that typical with Diamond Art Club. So. That's okay. We have our dryer sheets at the ready. And for me, I know they may not work for everybody. Not everybody says that this works, this technique, but they work. That works for me, the dryer sheet, believe it or not. So I stick with what I know. There we go. There. There we go. All right. Oh, the dryer sheet made its way to the top of the container. That's never a good thing. You always want to make sure that it's down inside. There we go. Give it the best shot to work. There. All right. So now we're up to 498. This beautiful red. Look at that red. Love it. Okay. We have not heard what happened to the girls. The next day, friends and family were there at their house. I don't know where they were. I did not see them there. We did not speak with anybody who was there at the house. They were trying to rummage through and try to find any, anything that they could salvage for them. But we have not heard or seen the girls. I, as a matter of fact, still have their robes, which I washed and dried. And whenever if they ever come back to the neighborhood, their little robes will be ready for them. So, and I know that might sound silly, but that was just, I wanted to make sure that I had them ready in case I ever did see them again, because, well, maybe that'll, maybe that was their favorite robe or something like that. And they would appreciate having them back. But we honestly don't know where they are or where they went to. So I don't know. But that's okay. As long as they're okay, that's the main thing. And when they left our house that day, they were okay. Very much shaken up, very injured, but they were both alive. So that was the main thing. And P.S. Remember I mentioned there were 2 houses that were destroyed? The folks in the second house were not home at the time. Where were they, you may ask? They were at church at the time of the storm. They were at church, friends. Talk about some divine intervention. I'll tell you. They came through several hours later, and they said they were at church. And they said that, thank God they were at church, and they will rebuild was it. So, in our neighborhood, we didn't lose anybody. Thank God. Lots of destruction, but we didn't lose anybody. So friends, when you hear of the storm watches or warnings, please take heed. I will never make light again like I did that day. I am completely ashamed of that because in a heartbeat, it can all go fanny up. So, and people lost their lives, people lost their homes. And it is not a funny situation at all. But we're going to move on. So, Todd and I had a very quiet Christmas. We had just gotten back into the house. So we had a lot of work to do inside because of so many people being in here and, you know, the French doors blowing open and debris all over the place. So we had our work cut out for us inside the house. Outside of the house, you know, beyond our control because they have contractors that are going to come in and do all that. But the inside of the house, the debris on the floor we had to pick up and make sure that Spoto didn't get into anything and all that. So it was a very quiet Christmas for us. We didn't even decorate. Remember, it was December 9th. We weren't going to put a tree up anyway, so really that didn't matter. But we were going to decorate a little bit. And we really didn't even do very much of that. Because by the time we were able to get back into the house, it was only a couple of days before Christmas. And we were just so mentally and physically exhausted from everything that we weren't even honestly in the mood to deck the halls, so to speak. So we had a couple little lights up, and my twin sister Judy, God bless her, she got us a little tiny Christmas tree, ordered it for us, and had it delivered with some ornaments on it. And so we had that. We had a little ham steak dinner for Christmas, and so yeah, here we are, New Year's Eve. There we go. Oh, I keep dropping these. All right, now we are on to the number 7s, 700. There we go. And we will continue on. I am going to ask you to hold one more moment, please. Thank you for holding, friends, and I'm back. All right. I pause the camera, the video every so often because it's easier for me to upload when it's not a long upload. So that's why I pause it every so often. It's easier for me to upload it so I can edit it, add my intro and outro and get it downloaded. There we go. A little bit of static in this. Honestly, there's so much static in these drills. But that's okay. Like I said, I have a whole container full of my little cut up dryer sheets, so there we go. Whoop. There. All right. Ooh, 700 and 699. Look at that. They look an awful lot alike. Slight difference. The 700 has a little bit more of a yellowish hue to it, as to where the 699 has a little bit more of a bluish hue to it. And let's move on to the next number, which is 702. Pull that right there. And I'm sorry this is taking so long, friends. It just, honestly, this is kind of therapeutic for me tonight. So Todd is my husband is in the living room with our dog Spoto. They're watching football. And I thought I would come in here and visit with you because I really wanted to get this kitted up because I want to start this tomorrow, which is New Year's Day. I also have another project that I want to start, which is for hashtag BigButts24, and that is an event that's run by Diamond Grandma and Shaz from Pencil Surprises, and that happens every January. Oop, making a mess all over the place. That happens every January, and I have that canvas I want to start as well. And I'll be doing some whips and chats. As a matter of fact, we're going to get to the part of this little soiree where I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be up to. So, I do have the Big Butts event. I have this particular canvas that I'm going to start. I have a canvas of a cat who is imitating the girl with the pearl earring. That masterpiece of a picture. And so I'm going to do that with sweet tea as well. We're going to have some whips and chats on that. I'm also bringing back my baby animal stickers. I want to work on that. And what I had thought about on that was instead of doing a baby animal sticker once a week, I'm going to do one each day because there's like 16 or 18 of these baby animal stickers. So it'll take me forever to get through that whole series. So I thought maybe we could, because they go fairly quickly, so I thought at the beginning of the year we could go ahead and do that as well. And share a little bit of time each day working on a baby animal sticker. So I think that'll be fun. Also, let me just do this. Hang on, friends. There we go. Also, I just recently did a promotional package, a product review, unbagging for 7th grade. And they asked me to do a tutorial. And 7th grade does cross stitch. So I will also be filming and posting that as well. So you're going to start seeing a little bit more of me. I had taken a lot of time off in the past several months. Especially like October, November, and December, I've not really filmed too much as far as kitting up or whips and chats or anything like that. So I really want to try to get back into that, and it's going to help to make me feel like it's a little bit more normal as well, to try to rally back from this tornado stuff. Because for a while there I was putting quite a bit of content out, and then all of a sudden it petered off, and then after it's a little tiny bit. After the tornado, I said to myself, Self, get back out there. You enjoy doing YouTube videos. You love your subscribers. Get back up on that horse. That's what I'm going to do. So, you're going to start seeing some more content from me. Ooh, there's only a little tiny bit in this one. There we go. All right. There we are. We're up to 744. beautiful buttery yellow. Oh, I love it. These colors are really pretty. And you know, Baby Cakes knows me all too well. As a matter of fact, several of my friends know me all too well with my love of cardinals. And I got another cardinal picture from Sweet Tea. Trisha from Diamond Painting with Sweet Tea. And so I want to work on that as well this coming year, because I want to have both of these pictures done before the holidays roll around again, because I want to put them in my living room. And so whatever projects I happen to be working on at the time, I'm going to have in the background a cardinal picture working for sure. And we're up to 760. So I'll go ahead and put that in here. Whoop, one of them went overboard. Oy, oy, oy. There we go. There we go. I have my little trash can, my little dollar store trash can. I've had this little trash can forever. I have that setting off to the side. Let's see. How are we going on the static? I got a little bit of static. I might as well just bite the bullet and put dryer sheets. It looks like I am already into all of them, so that's okay. I have enough. I actually bought a whole box and put it in my diamond painting supply kit, so I always have them on hand. I don't use them. I don't use dryer sheets in my dryer, so. And we're up to 762, which is a double. I'm only going to put one in and save the other one, because this is going to take at least 2 pots to begin with. So I'm going to save this one and put it in my container here. There we go. All right. And I know I'm going to need another pot for that, so let me write out another one. 762. There we go. Put that there. Waiting in the wings. Okay. Now, this I already see has a ton of static. So we're just going to go ahead there we go. Oh my stars, all this static. There we go. So that is going to be one full pot of drills. They jump all over the place with the static. Honestly, friends, it's crazy, 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 crazy. But that's okay. We are handling it. I'm going to put a second piece in here because there's a lot going on. There we go. And there. Let me see. I thought I had, yep, I do. Okay. I happen to have a little brush. You know, I'm almost done, so why not break the brush out finally? There we go. So that's that one. There we go. And then number 2. Put a dryer sheet in there. There we go. So we got all these drills that are just not behaving. So we're just going to put them right in here. There we go. Pick up whatever fell out. There we go. I'm even going to put a second piece in. There we go. These little stinkers. Misbehaving. Wow. That's all right. We're going to get there. I am actually going to take another piece of the dryer sheet and clean it out that way. Look at that mess I'm making, friends. Isn't that fun? There we go. Leave that dryer sheet there. Take my... There we go. Okay. There. And I still have a ton on my desk, but that's okay. We'll make quick work of it. There we go. Sorry, this is turning into such a long video. I'm thinking about once I'm done with this last 800, I think I might make a part 2 and do 900 and all then the 3,000. There we go. I have one more. Okay. There. All right. So we have one more. In the 700s, I should say. We have one more of the 700s. And that's 779. And then I think we're going to be done for this part 1. And I promise next time I won't be such a yak mouth about this. Let me put our sticker on here. Yeah, because we're at the end of this row of stickers, so that seems like a good place to stop for the day. There we go. And I think I'm going to put an extra one in there because that little one was just a little too little. If that makes any sense. Oop. There we go. There. Well, that was uneventful. That's good. Okay. The one with just a few, I put 2 pieces in there. Oh, goodness. All right, friends. So that's going to wrap it up for part 1 of our kitting up of our beautiful picture. DAC Together for Christmas by Donna Gelsinger. Okay. I will have a part 2 that we will finish the rest of our drills. I have the 800s, one 900, and then I have my the ones that start with 30, and we'll do those up as well. Okay, a couple more in here we'll bring into shot. There we go. I'll get these all in numerical order and we'll work on that. So friends, that'll do for now. And I want to thank you for sticking around. It was a very long video, and I do apologize. But I just wanted to let you know what I've been up to lately and how things all worked out on that faithful day in December 9th of 2023. And I've had a lot of people ask how we are, and I just wanted to give you a little update. And what I plan on doing moving forward in 2024. I plan on providing more content because I enjoy providing content to you folks, and it makes me happy. So, and I want to get back to some kind of normal. And to me, that feels normal. And so I hope you're looking forward to seeing the content as much as I am looking forward to bringing it to you. And by the way, along with all these whips and chats, unbaggings, tutorials, kitting up, kitting down, my husband Todd and I are going to continue to bring you Cooking with Todd and Debbie. We're working on some recipes right now that we want to bring to you. So be on the lookout for that as well in 2024. So you'll see the rest of this kitting up after New Year's Eve. And I just want to say thank you for all your support in 2023. I am looking forward again to bringing you more content in 2024. And thank you for just your support in general, especially during this time as well. But in general, I'm a small crafting fish in a great big crafting pond. So every like, every comment, every subscription, every interaction with my channel helps to let YouTube know that you like my channel. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you. So please continue to do all those YouTubey things that you all do so well. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment, even if it's just a hello, and let me know what you're working on and where you're from. And I try to respond to each and every comment. Sometimes I'll only respond with a heart that I saw it, but please know that I do see them and I acknowledge them, and they mean so very much to me. And when I do have a chance to comment back, I will comment back to you. But please do know that I do try to look at every single comment that I get. Until I see you all again for part 2 of this kitting up, thank you so much again. God bless. Happy New Year and take care. Happy crafting. I love you all. Goodbye now.